unstoppable kick-ass confidence. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Raw and Unscripted show with Christopher Rausch, where we help you overcome your self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. Now please welcome our host, Christopher Rausch.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome back to the Raw and Unscripted show with yours truly, Christopher Rausch, the place where I help you overcome your self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. And man, oh man, am I jazzed today. Can you tell I'm jazzed? I am super jazzed. So welcome everybody, whether you're going to be here live or on the replay. Of course, we love you on the replay. We love you on the live. So even if you're watching this on the replay, please engage with us in the comments. Both Peggy and I will be coming back and checking out those comments and answering your questions. So, but anyway, we have an exciting show for you tonight. We're going to jump back into that in just a second, but just want to make sure we got everything going. We're all good. And lights, camera, action. So yeah, me. It's all about me. Did you ever notice that? So anyways, happy 2021. I hope it's going awesome for all you ladies and gentlemen out there. I hope most of you had your New Year's resolutions all set out and your goals written out, and they're smart. You know what SMART is? Yes, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time specific. Did I get it right? Sometimes I fuck it up. So yeah, do you have your goals written down? Are you having benchmarks? Are you succeeding in those milestones? Are you having accountability appointments with your people? Are you seeing results already? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the third week in January. You should be seeing some results, and those results should be satisfaction. The fact that you committed to doing something, you made a promise to yourself that you were going to do this year, and hopefully you have not already given up on yourself. Please do not give up on yourself. That happens so oftentimes. People get out of the gate, they have their big lofty goals, and they're going to go after these things, and then something derails it, and they say, oh, see, that always happens, and they give up, and they go back to the old routine, hoping, wishing, and praying that someday it'll change. So yeah, you're not going to have that kind of attitude on this show today. Let me just tell you that, guys. And I apologize for my voice being a little rusty. I've literally been talking all day, just been on Clubhouse. If you guys haven't seen my post, I've been on Clubhouse now for 2 or 3 weeks. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, here, let me give you the short and sweet version of it. It is basically like going to a huge convention center and walking inside and going, hey, I can go to the personal development area. I can go to the spirituality area. I can go to the real estate area. I can go to all these different areas. Whatever area suits me that I want to learn and grow more about and share about, you can go into these rooms, and it's literally like a virtual meeting room. And it is absolutely phenomenal what's going on in these rooms in this early phase of this program. And quite honestly, as a coach, as somebody who wants to pour into other people authentically and genuinely, finding other people like that in this world has been absolutely just mind-blowing. The access to these people, these great people, are donating their time. I mean, some of them are on there for 20 hours a day. I've become fast friends with Forbes Riley, and she's on there for 21 hours a day. And I'm just like, oh my God. But that's what you have to do when you want to hustle. But more importantly, it's restoring my faith in humanity, because in these rooms, there has never been one question or one iota of who do you vote for, or what's your stance on abortion, or what color, all these different things. None of that is ever in play. So it's been amazing for me to participate in that, and for me to listen to some of these great, brilliant minds take somebody's situation and be able to effectively ask them questions, or potentially offer them some advice, and seeing their mindset and their beliefs about themselves and about their future quickly change. It's amazing. And we all need to be doing more of that in our own lives, because when you give, you get way more than you give. Trust me. So I've had the blessing of doing that. I had a blessing of doing a coaching call tonight, spending the day with my son. We went out for a nice drive, listening to the music. He's like, Dad, let's go for a drive. So we're blasting Metallica and all sorts of good stuff. And yeah, life is just amazing. Life is amazing. And what this show is meant to do is to share those amazing experiences with you, because I am no different than you. I am no different than you. I was a former 7th grade homeless dropout living in the backseat of a station wagon. You know the story. The hero's journey. We all go through that hero's journey. The difference about me and some other people may be the fact that I just committed myself, and I made a promise to myself. I would never go backwards. I would never go backwards permanently. Sometimes we slip backwards, but we have to slip backwards in order for us to really realize where it is that we're going forward. So you can do that. Every single person can do that. I have coached people that had zero belief that they could accomplish something, and within merely a few weeks, they're seeing the progress of what it is that they have to rewire their brain about from their childhood. And speaking of rewiring, we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff like that. So without any further ado, I'm going to shut the hell up and just say, hey, what's up, Darlene? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Robert, thank you so much for being here. You got that right. Giving away that love returns life energy back in abundance into me. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just going to tell you guys, you're going to want to share this episode. You're going to want to share this episode. Peggy Willms, Coach Peggy, as she is known, is a firecracker. I know many of you, whether you're watching this right now or on the replay, saw the post that I put out yesterday where Miss Peggy had a bit of an opinion about some stuff going on in social media land, which I'm eager to talk to her about. But more importantly, she's a health and wellness coach. She is an amazing, amazing wealth of knowledge. She is funny as hell. She is serious as hell. She is raw and unscripted as she possibly could be. Please welcome to the show, Miss Peggy. Coach Peggy, what's going on, Rockstar? How are you doing, darling?
Welcome, the crazy bitch. She's in the house. Oh,
the crazy bitch is in the house. Let's
rock
it.
In the house. Oh, hi, buddy. I'm so glad to be here, man. This is, I'm up at 10:05 Eastern Standard Time for you. I mean, that's usually I'm in bed watching like The Bachelor right now.
You don't watch my show live?
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Watches the what?
No,
full screen.
You know what? This full is the deal. No, on
oops.
Full screen. Jesus Christ. This is the deal. I'm one of those that live like I do really well in the morning and I do really well at night. So that kind of burn the candle on both ends are kind of, yeah. So I'm ready.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Robert says, welcome, Coach Peggy Willms.
Hi,
So yes, as always, guys, please interact with us. Comments, suggestions, questions for us. But since I started off the introduction of your situation yesterday, I kind of want to just jump into that because what I love about that is the fact that you are unfiltered, you're raw and unscripted. You did it, but you did it very eloquently. You did it with love and passion, but you did it with a very sincere and direct message. I want to talk a little bit about that exercise and what that meant for you, both personally and professionally.
Okay, thank you.
And explain people to what kind of took place because people need to know well.
Oh, I absolutely will. So one of the things I want to kind of back up is when it comes to Facebook friends and liking and getting your numbers up, I am really organic with that. So if somebody wants to be my friend, I do the work. I vet them. I look at them. I see their attitude about politics and stuff like that, Christopher, doesn't bother me. It's the way, just like you said, it's the way it's said and who do I want to associate with? So I vet them. And my birthday was a week ago on Sunday. And I had so many people, I'm like hundreds and hundreds of people say happy birthday in my messenger. And I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my God. And I was so naive, right? I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. It's my birthday. This is great. And it's so predictable, as you know. It just is classic for the ones who really don't want to be authentically connected to you, right? Mm-hmm. And you can see them coming in. And so the ones that were kind of funny at first were like, hi, happy birthday, pause, 30 seconds. Could I offer you, this over the phone relaxation 30-minute thing? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, and I didn't know where we were headed. This whole week, 30, 40, 50 people, it's gone like this. Oh, I'm not shitting you. That's why I lost my freaking mind yesterday. I looked out this window and grabbed my phone and I said, because I'm 9 days out of my birthday and I'm still getting it. And it's a hook. It's a hook. And so I looked out my window and I thought the only way I'm going to stay really positive right now is to see that damn palm tree. That's how I'm going to have to do this. So
focus, breathe, focus. Punch the motherfucker.
I know. And my kids will tell you that I don't, even when I was telling them to do push-ups when they back talked, I still was doing it in a positive way. But this was the key that bothered me. Is I believe when all of our birthdays come up on everybody's Facebook, hey, happy birthday, and you say it. So whether it's a bot, whether it's something you buy, maybe I'm naive, I don't know, that lets you know the birthday and bounces you over to Messenger. Maybe you hit Messenger. I don't know. But what was frustrating is the amount of people who wanted me to either join a group, sell me something, a mug. Oh, I see that you have shows. Would you be interested in showcasing my mugs? Or my crystal, are you fucking kidding me? It's my birthday. That day, the next day, the day after, and they're just coming. And I started thinking to myself, oh my God, they're exploiting, like they're not even just being nice and saying, like happy birthday. So my thing is hit me up the next day to join your group about literacy or freaking crocheting. I don't care. I'd probably join it. But it just was disheartening, the approach. I was just so frustrated. I'm still getting them. I'm still got a couple today. Along with one, this is what the pisser is. Do you use collagen? Swear to God. Which I thought then implied I should. And then do you want to be I don't even know what a salesperson for Rodan and Fields or whatever. So they came in pretty close to each other. So I'm like, damn girl, what's this looking like? I'm like, happy birthday, but it was frustrating, Christopher. So thank you for saying and I got a lot of compliments in the sense of you said what we were thinking and I appreciate it, but
So let me ask you this, and thank you for sharing that, Peggy, because I used that as a jumping off point for confidence, right? I'm the no excuses coach. You're a coach. We deal with people who generally come to us in one form or fashion, lacking confidence, lacking belief. Talk to me about how you developed your sense of confidence and what it means for you to stand in your space when you're owning that space in situations like this.
Well, the first thing I used to say was I was born in New England and I cuss like a sailor. And so people got used to me, but that's not the truth. The truth is, I grew up a perfectionist. I'm still a perfectionist. I still battle that every single day. And a lot of that, that's where my sarcastic sense of humor, a lot of it comes from, is a protection mechanism. Is like, if I can screw you first or cuss, and I do it in a humorous way, self-deprecating way. It just is easier than to worry about them coming at me and kind of digging me. So that started young. And I kind of honestly grew up in a family where I felt, I'll own it, that it was shut up, put up, look pretty, get the grades, go out. You don't need a man. You don't need to go to college either. Just work your ass off and get it done. Now, supposedly it wasn't said quite like that, but everybody's perception is everybody's perception. So I just, it was really, I know you don't want to hear this word, or the listeners maybe don't want to hear this word, but it was all about failing. It was trying and living through it and not dying and saying what I needed to say. And then eventually you get to the age, as we both know, brother, that you just don't give a shit anymore. And I'm not for everybody, and I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just me. And if anybody's interested in who I am and what I am in my heart, then come on along. And if you're not, there's somebody else out there for you. So I just, whatever.
Yes. I think it's brilliant that we can get to that point. For me, honestly, and I'm going to ask you the same question. For me, to get to that point of owning who I am, zits and all, because I never had a wart, and being able to really jump into the space of what it is that I'm meant to do and where I'm meant to be. Gay Hendricks has a book called The Big Leap. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. I imagine you are. So about the zone of greatness, the zone of excellence, and the zone of genius. Mm-hmm. Thinking about operating my zone of excellence, which in leadership, business, corporate, master's degree, all that stuff, fine. Zone of excellence, totally good. But zone of genius, what is it going to take for me to be in my zone of genius? Oh, I have to let go of that identity, number one, and I have to own this one 100%. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you a story. I don't know if I ever told you this, but so back in the day when I was a suit and tie speaker, saying everything, not cussing and looking like everybody else on a massive stage. Yep. When I decided to do the whole Kickass thing, it really required me to own and to say, I'm going to swear. And this is before Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, everybody and their brother told me do not do it. Like, you do the Kickass thing, but don't swear. And I'm like, I swear, it's just who I am. It's not a big deal. It's just a fucking word. It's just letters strung together. You give the meaning to the word. And I've become passionate about that. But I had to own who I was. But here's the funny part. When I first did it, I didn't own it. I had two personas on Facebook. I didn't want to hurt people's feelings for the people who swearing. So I had good Chris and bad Chris. And for 2 years, I updated both of them. And I watched them both grow the same. And I was like, you're going to like me this way, or you're going to like me this way. I'm tired of being two people. I had my coach telling me, you're asinine. You got to be that person. And still, I wasn't always that person until, exiting that corporate space. Talk to us about that process and that journey for you to be able to really own and stand in your space to say that I'm who I am. Obviously now you're who you are, but was there a point in time where you just said, fuck it, I just got to be who I am?
I honestly can, as far as I can remember back, I was just like this. I remember getting my face slapped from my mother for saying fuck when I was 11. It started early, but it's emphasis. It's like an adjective and an exclamation point to me. It's not to be, it's like a cat. That's how I explain it. I live in Florida and my F-bombs are like cat 1 through 5s, right? So I have a cat 1 that's like, hey, what the? And then I have a cat 5 can have a resting bitch face. So when the RBF comes with like a cat 5, it's coming in hot. It's coming in hot. But I don't know where it came from, except to tell you that my mom was 15 when she got pregnant with me. And she was really young. And I just remember her drilling into me, do what you got to do, say what you got to do what you got to do, say. And I kind of did a little bit of you because I was 25 years in corporate wellness. And there was kind of that button it up, look the way you need to. And you and I are both skilled on knowing when we can kind of do what we need to do, that dancing. But once I got off on my own and came away from, my last job was in academia and a university. And that was in 2016 that I left. And I said, I'll never, ever, ever apologize one single time again, because I'm not going to be rehearsed and edited, and I'm not going to do it. So, and there's so much freedom, like seriously, there's so much freedom. And honestly, Chris, you said something that really resonated with me that I learned a year ago with COVID. I got stuck in Colorado at my son's house for 8 weeks. And I was stuck by myself for 14 days. So nobody could come in my son's house with his dog because he was down in Texas. I had never gone live, ever. And I was sitting there bored off my ass. And I can't remember my first one. I think I grabbed kind of my lipstick and realized I had no lips. And I would have my lipstick and I was like, and I was just being a jerk. And I went live. And I went live for 54 days in a row because that was my age. I'm 55 now. And I did it every night. And I grabbed helmets. I grabbed sugar bags. I had nothing rehearsed. And I had a blast. And my following and my love and my be yourself exponentially blew up when I did that. And I have no idea what people are saying about me. So I love you. I'm sure that you can, but you have to be unapologetically yourself. And that's really tough to cross over that. But I think once you do that, there's no other freedom than that. It really isn't.
No, it's so true. It's so true. I want to recognize some people. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Larry Schneider's in the house. Darlene, thank you for always being here. Robert's in the house, dropping brilliance as always. Saying welcome, Coach Peggy. Ray is in the house. Ray, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. A loyal misfit for life. I call my guys misfits for life. Pamela Kosak says happy birthday. Thank you, Pamela, for being here. And Robert says, those I interact with most do get those wishes and then sometimes more. Absolutely. Everybody's just saying hi over here. Wow. 54 is a good number. Oh, and she said, do you need collagen? I was kidding. So you need reading glasses, huh?
You can call me any other day than my birthday and I might buy it or join your group. It was just the backdoor way. That's why I said on my video, That's why I said on my video, if you want me to buy something, just say, hey, Peggy, are you interested in blank? Hey, don't do this whole, I was on your profile and you seem like, and then ask me, can you tell me more about what I do? Literally today I said, go to PeggyWiLms.com. I've just told you 50 times what I do. I don't know how else to help you. And you can tell they haven't looked at shit. It's so frustrating.
You want to know my secret? I'm surprised you haven't asked me my secret.
Oh, you have so many. Where should we start? So yeah, of course.
So I used to get those too, not nearly as many. Jesus Christ. I think they look at me and go, he'll probably bite my head off. I was at a clubhouse earlier and they said, man, you look like a bear. You're probably tough. And I'm like, nah, I'm a pussy cat. But no, is now like I get a lot of them on LinkedIn. Like, oh, I see you're a coach. You know, what's your automation system? What's your accounting system? We would love to give you a free demo, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you know what? No, thanks. And they would come back and ask me a question. And I'm just like, okay. And I really do try to respond to all of them because I know my wife's in sales. She's like, I never get a response. I never get a response on email, anything anymore. It's like, and you're trying to, feed your family. You're trying to sell. You're trying to actually offer something that's good for people. I'm not saying it's not. It's just about your approach. So either one or two responses I'll go with, depending on how confident they are in their ask. I may go after them a little bit with their sense of confidence, or if their sales approach is wrong, as I'll sit there and say, you know what, no, thank you. And if they still come back at me, I'm like, you know what, I'd like to actually ask you a question. Where did you learn your sales approach? And then they come back like, oh, is there something wrong with it? I said, yeah, because I'm not buying. I said, would you be interested in learning some of the mechanics behind sales from my aspect? Here, let me book a coaching call with you.
And then they're done. It's really
like, what?
I love that one too. I was just looking at Darlene's, and Darlene on the block, girlfriend, I totally get you. What was so bothering this broad is the number of them. I mean, I was sitting there thinking 1, 2, 10 people pain in the ass, but I mean, 4 or 5 days out, I was like, am I missing? Like, is this the new funnel magnet that I didn't get sold? Anyways, but.
Or you could send them disgusting pictures back.
Oh yeah, that's going to go as a grandmother. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on. So in talking about this being instilled in you from birth, how has this been for you as a mom and your kids?
Perfectionism, or what part?
Instilling that sense of confidence to be who they are, own who they are, and not give a fuck about what anybody says.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, they weren't always proud of me when I was running my pie hole, when they were, racing and yelling and screaming. And I mean, they more got it just by watching, of course, right, than me barking at them. They learn by the behavior, but they are more, let's see, Christopher, I would say they're kind of they represent me on both ends. One is really stern in his beliefs and would stand in front of a truck for his beliefs, but wouldn't tell anybody until he's bucked up against it. And then the other one's super emotional. So I just would say they love me for me. And I don't know how even to answer that question, except that I'm just me. I don't know. Like, it's not freaking rehearsed, I don't even, it's kind of stammering because I've never really been asked how come I'm unapologetically myself.
Mm-hmm. But it's I mean, that's such an asinine question when you think about it. It's like, we're born to be ourselves. We're born to be ourselves. And from my experience, at least, we go on this journey of trying to become something that we're not, to impress people who don't give a shit about us anyway, to wind up at this part of our life being comfortably miserable, going, oh, now I get it. Oh shit, I got 20 years left of my life. Oh, thanks God. And then you got to hustle to make up for lost time. That's what it's funny because I've always had trouble getting my niche. Like, who do I serve? Is it college people? Is it guys? Is it women? Is it kids? All over the place. And over the course of the last, 12, 18 months of dropping out of the corporate life, I'm finding that people are coming to me in the corporate life, and they hear me talking about comfortably miserable. Like, Chris, that's me. I go to work, I'm okay, but I'm miserable. I would rather much be doing this. I'd rather much be myself, but there's all these, quote unquote roadblocks in the way. So many people are struggling with that. What would you say to somebody who's sitting right now and just struggling with that, the mask syndrome, not the mask we have to wear, but that identity syndrome of breaking out and just being who they are and not worrying about what their family's going to say or anybody else is going to say? What steps would you walk somebody through that?
It's real. While you were talking, I was thinking, I want to share a story, and I know this is a sidebar, but this is what we do. I had an eating disorder for 20 years, and I was an undereater. I wasn't I was anorexic, but it wasn't nervosa where I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I'm skinny. I got into bodybuilding. I was always thin. My senior year in high school is when I was diagnosed, but I got into the same type of thing that you're talking about, where I had that mask, where I looked a certain way. And I was in fitness and I was coaching. And so it was really hard for me to share that, hey, I'm not doing this the healthy way, but I want you to. And I would say that when I was 38 years old, I then really laid it out there. And I started telling all my clients and becoming that person. Christopher, we do this as coaches where we're able to start to learn to tell stories. And we learn it's really, really important to connect stories. And I kind of got called on this a couple of years ago that said, you've got an amazing resume. Why don't you talk about, and I'm like, because that's the past. Someone can read it there. And they're like, well, why don't you connect some of these stories more? And it never really dawned on me. There is a skill in expressing who and what you are and where you came from in those stories. And so I never stood up and said, I work with people that are overweight and underweight all the time. And I say, I get you. And I do a little bit, but I never really shared the whole entire story of the mask and being in that field. And then, you know, you and I both do this where it's walk the talk or preach it. I mean, we have to, and you and I both know now the way we are now, it's like if I say go out and walk and talk to your mom, I'm out walking and talking. And the best way to do it, you guys, is to go live. It sucks. It's scary. But that's the thing. Social media is where everything is going to be, whether you like it or not. That's the platform. Get over it. TVs are going away. Everything's going to be done here. And you either get used to it or you're blown, especially as a business. Get over it. If I hear one more person in my family tree tell me, oh, I don't want to get on there, I'm like, then bye-bye, because that's how you have to run, you know, business. So my point is just get in there, hurry up to fail. I always say that because the sooner we do, the sooner we grow. Do not be complacent. Do not be scared. We're all learning, and do it. If you're accountable and you're transparent and you're doing this stuff, hi, I'm riding my bike. You know, here I am live, and you're tripping in. Hi, next day, here I am on my bike. You're going to be more accountable. You're going to have more fun. You're going to get conversations like this from real people who you can have and challenge it. That's where it's at, of those relationships. But I'm rambling. So you just don't want to talk. You just want me to talk about shit because you have no voice. You've been clubhousing all day.
I've got a voice. See? I just rested it for a minute. I'm good. I was watching Tony Robbins though. He's doing the Tony Robbins challenge. I didn't even realize that was going on, and I heard his voice, and I was like, damn, like he's gargling marbles. I feel bad, but it's like, I'm like, oh, I hope that doesn't happen to me. But no, I love what you're saying, and the fact of owning it. It's the path of life that we're all on, and I think that one thing that we're going through right now is this massive reset in what our identity is. And I know for me, when I left corporate, rather suddenly, by the way, it was a jarring experience for me to realize how much of my identity was really wrapped up into my responsibilities and my title and my relationships there. How was that for you when you left corporate? Did you experience the same thing? Did you leave voluntarily or
nope.
The identity?
I left voluntarily. Yes, I did leave. Let me tell you exactly what happened. And if everybody's listening, then it's going to be a good opportunity for you guys to learn. You should have kept me. But so this was, I work a lot. I've always worked a lot. And when you work for corporate America, sometimes you want to carry around a flag that says, hey, do you notice that I just worked 117 hours this week? I'm working my ass off. And when you guys leave, I'm still here. When you come in the morning, I'm still here wearing the same shirt. And we get angry, right? Because it just doesn't seem like anyone notices. And it feels like we're making less than everyone. And it was so frustrating. Well, felt like I was running all this freaking show, and my youngest son, shattered both of the bottom of his legs in a motorcycle accident. 21 years old, never knew if he was going to walk again. He was on my couch for 4 months. We were bathing him. His whole identity had been wrapped up in motorcycles. It was gone, depressed. I mean, we're literally bathing him, and I'm working from home virtually, and I kept proposing different things, and I would get calls that say, you know, why can't you get home care? We really need you. Offer to get me a taxi to go there so that I could quickly be back or some shit. And that was so disheartening. And this is what I said to myself. When I'm sitting on a couch, I actually said the porch swing, and I'm 80, and I'm telling stories. None of them are going to call and check on me. None of them are going to remember who I am or to say my last name. And when I'm telling stories, I need to make better stories than that, to have that be my last damn story that I'm freaking telling. And that is why I left. I literally said, I can't do it. And we moved to Florida. I was in Denver, and I said, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to work from home. I don't care if I make $18,000 a year. I'm going to freaking be happy. I don't give a shit. And I'm out of here. So you know how it is. You have an idea. It has to go to HR and the board of directors and this meeting and that meeting and then this, and then they have this other thing over there. And by then it's somebody else's idea, and it's so.
Yeah.
I had no idea I was going to talk about that. Oh my God.
Well, you said you were excited to see what I was going to ask you.
That's my bullshit. That's my bullshit button. So when people give me a bunch of crap, I just hit my bullshit button. Do you have a bullshit button too? Shut the door.
You're going to laugh.
Oh my God. I told you we were the same. Oh my God. I've hit mine so.
That was bullshit.
Yep. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing it live. Brother and sister being reunited, separated at birth. Here we are. Frickin' frack.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Yeah, no, let's see what we got going on over here.
You've got me so off road, man. Like nobody asked me any of this shit. I am off road today. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, this is good. Don't be sorry. This is what is the name of the show?
Which one? Oh, my new one coming out? Or
No,
this
this
one?
one. No,
I was like Raw and Unscripted. I can see it right there.
What do you think you're gonna get with that?
Some Raw and Unscripted stuff.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Jeez, Ray says that is awesome.
Talk to me, Ray. Talk to me.
Yes, absolutely. So leaving the corporate career, you get into coaching and you design all these phenomenal programs. Talk to us a little bit about the program that you designed. I was really keenly interested in the 24-point program. It looks similar to mine actually, in the fact that it's not just isolated to one area of life, which I love. Talk to us a little about the creativity process in that, and walk us through a little bit about it.
Yeah, I have my little wheel. You guys are going to laugh that have these protector sheets. Remember these from back in the day? So I keep my little wheel here, but it's a 24-spoke wheel and it's on my website and I have 4 quadrants. But the way I like to coach is with heart, spirit, mind, and body. And it's everything from whether it's organization, creativity, integrity, nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, rituals, every one of those spokes. And the test that I do with everybody is to look at it as a wheel, as if the wheels are got your wellness wagon rolling along. Well, if there's a puncture, like you're running over a nail, an event in life, shit happens, you run over a nail, say for instance in the relationship, you're not hanging out with your loved one, whatever. When you have a puncture in that wheel, wherever it is, say it's here, right here, you're going to have a jagged, the wheel's not going to spin as well, first of all, as rapidly, but it's also going to be a bumpy ride. So what I do is to sometimes when people are in A in certain areas, say they're really nailing their nutrition or their exercise, they might have to dial back a little bit, which seems weird to people. But if you're in the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, you might need to dial back a little bit so we can bring that F you're getting for your relationships with your kiddos or the house is organized. And we try to bring that in so that the wheel rolls and you keep your wagon going. That's what it's about.
Keep your wagon going.
Keep the wagon. Don't fall off the wagon unless you got some whiskey.
I know. I'm thinking about my birthday. Right now I'm dry. I'm doing no sugar, no gluten, no wheat, no flour, no fun. No, yeah. So lost 6 pounds and I need to find it because my face is going to get thin and people are going to think like, what happened to you?
Hey, need some collagen. Need collagen.
Yeah, no. So what do you feel when your clients are coming to you and you've got this wheel in front of you? What predominantly is the area of the life that you have to work on first?
I'll tell you what's really interesting is I tell people, don't keep coming back to me for the same stuff you think you've mastered. So if you've got 75% of this 100% of health and wellness figured out, why do you keep coming back with the 75? Why don't you ever come back and say, yo, could we work through the 25% I don't get, I don't seem like I can master? They'll come back and say, I would like you to tell me what to eat and to exercise. And I'm like, no, it's not what I'm about. Ain't happening. Because that shit, we can figure out that. Right now, I need to know how much you're sleeping, what your stress life is like, your stress. But that's the thing is about dancing around that wheel. And the thing is, next week could be different. You lose your house, your finance part of the wheel is going to be different. So it's really becoming as resilient as possible so that you're ready and you have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah. And when the first one goes to shit, you're resilient enough to get back on the track or find an accountability partner. 3. I have 3 that call me out because I have eating issues. And when I love to be manic. I love to work a lot. And that's I say everybody has an aholic, whether it's alcohol or drugs or doesn't matter if it's gambling, whatever it is, mine's work. And I'm a workaholic and I love it. And I'm manic about it. And when I get in the zone, I will forget to eat. A couple days ago, and don't give me anything like, I wish I could forget to eat. No, it's a struggle. No, God, that would be great. No, don't want to hear it. but it is tough. And I literally forgot to eat that day. I was sitting here, it was like 3 days ago, and I just had the wicked shakes. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong? And I sat here, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I went downstairs to Dana, my boyfriend, and I said, I didn't eat today. And but that's, that's the part of, everybody has their struggles, and I'm not perfect by far, but I have to dial it back. I have to go back to setting my alarms. And I have 3 accountability partners who say, looks like you're really busy. Can we chit chat about shit that's going on? Because it's always sleep and food for me when they get off.
Why is it a repetitious pattern for you when you don't want it to be a repetitious pattern for your clients?
I think we all have our thing that we fall back into, that we've just got to keep checking ourselves on. I think there's just, for me, my belief system is that we have those habits. If we don't change those habits, then we're just repeating it. I mean, who said that? Just a level of insanity. Wasn't it Einstein said, if we don't change anything, don't expect different results? But it's deep seated. I think mine was just deep seated from young on, and I just have to keep being checked. I'm way better, but.
You want to see something funny?
Yeah, I'd love to. The woman is amazing. Female. Damn. Yes. Oh.
Isn't that what they said about me when I was on your show?
It is exactly what they said.
Thank you, Ray. Darlene says, I need more sleep. Well, then get it. Jesus. No, I understand. I was a total workaholic too. And then I realized that I had issues and I dealt with them.
Well, I know. And it sounds like just lovely, right? You're such a piece of shit. God, my shirt's like cut on my belly button ring. God damn. I fixed it, everybody.
Let's talk about that. What are the rings or, no, I'm just kidding.
No, everybody, I know. No, we never did do that, but this was just back when I thought I was really cool back in the day. I'll probably take it out when it starts to be like by my knees, you're like 90. It's like, oh, that earring, the earring in your lapel is really cute. No, but you're saying something. I know you're being sarcastic, but we all have that thing.
Oh, yeah. Mine's alcohol.
You have a younger kiddo, buddy. And it's like, this is what somebody told me the other day, who is working with me, who said, kind of in a nice way, just because you work all the time doesn't mean I want to. Okay. So we had to have a conversation that was like, when I reach out to you or give you something or an email, it does not mean I want a response. I don't need a response. I operate just by getting it off my plate and doing that. But she so lovingly really said to me, your kids are up and grown. There's nobody there. Dana works from home. You guys both have businesses. You're doing what you love to do, but it doesn't mean it's healthy. And it was kind of a check.
When did you stop being a kid? What age?
Are you going to ask me about the F word? Because I'll tell you, that's going to piss me off. No, listen. You
told me I could ask you anything. I just asked you when you stopped being a kid.
This is a good question, because I'm going to tell you about the other F word. The other F word that pisses me off is people always ask me, what do I do to have fun? And I get anxiety. Like I know that's what you're wondering, right? Is that what you're wondering?
No, I froze for a second, so I didn't hear you. I froze for a second.
I was like, but no, seriously, in all seriousness, I've been asked so many times, well, what do you do for fun? I can't tell you how many times. And I struggled with that. When I was once asked that question, I actually started crying. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do for fun? Because it felt so judgmental. Like, what is my fun not what everybody else's is? Like, what the hell? What's fun? Do I have to go to dinner and I don't want to eat out? Do I have to? And I was really offended by it. It actually was about 6 years ago. And then I realized, for me, I love what I do and I love helping others. And I finally figured out there's 3 things: swimming, biking, and kayaking. And the reason those work for me is because you can't have your phone. You can't work on those 3 things. You can't. So I figured those out, and that's the only thing that gets me away.
Nice. Nice. And the reason why I was asking you that is because, since we're so similar, is the fact that I had a therapist ask me that. So when she was trying to dig into me why I was such a workaholic, she just out of the blue, and she wasn't a very good therapist up until this point. And she goes, when did you stop being a kid? And I was like, She was trying to get through. She felt she was talking to Coach Chris, and she goes, I want to talk to the real Chris. And I'm like, this is the real Chris. This is the only Chris I know. And I was getting pissed. I'm like, what do you mean? And then she asked me that question. She goes, when did you stop being a kid? And I went, I said, realistically, 7 or 8. Kind of was latchkey kid, you know, responsibilities got beat more when I didn't. Yeah, I'd say about 7 or 8. And she goes, and we started talking about that. So I'm glad you brought it up. She goes, what do you do for fun? And I'm like, my work is my fun. And she goes, okay. And then we talked about validation. We talked about all this other stuff. But what was interesting out of that was not that I wasn't having fun like everybody else stereotyped it or categorized it. What it was, this is the deep part, because I always go to the root. For me personally, it was the fact that I felt guilty for not working because I've always had to work to get the validation to prove that I was worth something. And so it's still there. It's still there. So you talk about your reoccurring thing. It's like, okay, I'm sitting there staring at a PlayStation. I've got all this stuff. I've got guitars everywhere, but I love what I do. But at the same time, that we need to have like your wheel, we all have to acknowledge that and go have our balance. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because so many people are on that wheel. They're like, oh, I have to be working and serving and doing and da 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 da. And everybody goes to the grave the same way. The guy that either was enjoying the day and not stressing out about that, or the guy that was working his hands and fingers to the bone. But
no, you bring up a really good point, and you stir up a lot of stuff, because when I think back, I have always been responsible, type A, firstborn. And I just did the tick, paid for my report cards. I'm not saying that I don't want my parents, everybody getting pissed off, but wherever it came from, there was some sort of validation that I was doing it correctly. You're working hard. You're a serious child. You are doing the right thing. You're going to go far if you just work to the bone. Just bloody knuckle it. You're going to do. So somewhere along the way, I felt like that's what I needed to do to get wherever. And often I still feel like I'm asked all the time, will you ever stop chasing? What are you chasing? And that's a really valid question, because every time I get somewhere and I feel like I'm doing a good job, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. And then you wait for that and so probably the fun thing, I mean, probably I was younger than you, buddy. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I can be funny. I can make people laugh and enjoy being funny, but to literally go, oh my God, that was so much fun. That stresses me out.
See, ladies and gentlemen, we have the answers. We're coaches, but we're also human. That's what I love about you, Peggy Williams, is the fact that you are a real person. You're authentic. You're not like some of these yahoos in the personal development space. They're like, look at me in my rich jet and look at me in my house in here and da 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 da. And I have personally come to know of those people, and they're miserable. It's like I have learned, definitely, especially with Clubhouse, just being in there for the last couple of weeks, these billionaires, and you can go to their profile and you can see they're not fucking around. They're billionaires. Like, you know what? It's always been about the chase. It's always been about the pursuit. Once I had the money, I could sit there and sit on my ass all day and watch sports and go drive Maseratis till I'm blue in the face. He goes, it was about the grind. It was about the hustle. That's why so many people, when they retire, they go, oh, wait, my mission, my purpose in life is to continue to grow and to become stronger and to contribute more. And that's what you're about. That's what we're about. We are constantly working to refine ourselves, to heal ourselves, to grow ourselves. And by which, what's the first thing you do when you learn something? You teach somebody else to do it.
That is like, you just nailed it, because I am not about needing a Bentley. I am super, super simplistic. I am not. I mean, seriously, I've left many relationships with just the clothes on my back. Because who wants the same bed to sleep in anyway, But I'm just saying, that was a little too much. I love you, all my exes who are watching. But what I wanted to say is it's the grind. I love the grind. And I've not really thought about it the way that you just said that. The billions come for me when I envision the money, I envision it being able to grind more and help more. That in order to keep the team, so that that's my high, that's my drug, is just when somebody says to me, Chris, man, that kind of made sense. Or back when I was listening to you 5 years ago and you're like, you were even listening? Like, what? Because you don't know. And that's the other thing I would say to you guys who are listening to Christopher right now. I want you to promise to me, stack of Bibles, and you're obviously doing a great job, but I am begging people, if they listen or they're watching, just sometimes a thumbs up that says, hey, I'm here, can keep people like us who are working really hard going. And it's just fantastic to know that you like something that we're doing or saying. It can get because we go through some tough days, dude. I mean, we go through some days. I think a month ago or so when I reached out to you, I asked you something like, it was about my website. It was my landing page, I think, to get my new show coming up. And I reached out to you and I said, dude, do you know anybody that does this, this, and this? And it was a Wednesday, I remember. And I was just sitting in the recliner going, man, I don't know if I can do this shit anymore. I was so exhausted, and you feel so alone in the way, right? And I was just like, and I sat there going, am I going to end up working for somebody again? Because I'm exhausted. And that was like a fuck no. 3 minutes late, seconds later. So, nah. But yeah, I was exhausted. And so, but you come back.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That was going to be one of my questions to you is I'm all about being unstoppable. And I know you are too. And one of the questions I've been asking my guests lately is like, really, what is becoming unstoppable? What does unstoppable mean to you? And the second part of that question is, what is your best? How do you define what your best is? Because so many people are saying, well, Chris, I'm doing the best I can. And I immediately check them on that. I'm like, what is your best? How do you measure that? How do you measure what your best was last week and your best is this week? If you said you did your best last week to work out and you said you did your best this week to work out, there's something fucking wrong. Your best is not your best, and you're using it as an excuse. Because think about it, and going back to our childhood, what are we told? Oh, hey, Chris, did you do your best on this paper? Well, yeah. Well, try to do better next time.
Exactly.
We never clarify what best is, and we never clarify what better is. We go into it thinking, oh, I got out of that this time. I hope, wish, and pray that I do better on the next one, and we don't. And we get the same result, and we get penalized for it. And that's what screws us up.
Yeah, I was just telling somebody the other day, I said, you never hear at a t-ball game, a parent just going, have fun, honey. You never hear them say, exactly. It's always like that dad that's like, you can do better. And what are you doing? And why but most of the time, if the parents, I will say most of the time, if we would preface it just with, I want you to have it easier than I did or more than I did. And that's why I push you. It's the way it's presented. I've always told my kids that. You have two things you can control, your attitude and your presentation style, period, exclamation point. You make sure that your presentation style, I used to say to my youngest, Tanner, I said, look at the difference in this. When I go into your room and it's a shit show, and I come in and I'm like, what are you doing? And pick up your room and what's going on? Versus, Bud, what's going on? Come on, man, pick this up. There's a difference. And I'm saying the exact same thing. That's what we need to change. Even in the world today is our presentation style and our attitude and how we deal with everything. I don't care if you have a house or not a house, freaking clean up your attitude. You got something. We all have something. We all have each other. We have each other, Darlene and Robert.
Yes. You're awesome, Peggy. Thanks for your time. Enjoy it. Stay unstoppable. You're always growing. Absolutely. Robert says, presentation is a game changer or a deal breaker. And of course, my angel here says, yes. And Darlene says, wow. Yes. And wow. You know what I think? I mentioned a book earlier and I'm interested to hear this. What is the one book that really changed it for you? Was there one that just kind of like,
you're not gonna want to hear this. You're not gonna want to hear this. Well, it's not that you're not gonna want to hear it. It's not that you're gonna
50 Shades of Grey. We're gonna go in a different direction.
You know what, guys? I've never read it. Swear to God. Swear.
It's amazing. I have all 4 volumes.
I think you should. I think you should have coloring books. That would be fantastic. Give her a buzz. The book that I use over and over and over and over again. Oh my God. Yes. You know what? I have a swearing color book over there and it starts with the F word. I swear to you, I have it. It's probably right over there. No, the book that I use the absolute most is Dr. Bruce's The Power of When. Yes. And it's all about sleep cycles. So it's The Power of When. It's right here. Hold on. I'll be right back, Batman. Seriously, I want to show you.
Power of When. Ooh, I haven't even heard of that one.
The Power of When. Right here. And I'll tell you why. So he is a PhD. He is a sleep physician, a sleep doctor. He's done multiple tests. I test my clients on this. I've been doing this for 5 years. And he puts you into 4 categories, whether you're a bear, a dolphin, a wolf, or a lion. And it's based off your biorhythms, your cortisol, your melatonin. And it takes off so much stress, for instance, quickly. I am a lion. I love to get up. I love to do my thing, have 3 cups of coffee before Dana will even get out of bed. For the first 2 years of dating, I'm like, don't know what this is going on, but I'm amazing. And this morning thing needs to go. I don't know this attitude thing, but he's not a morning person. He'll stay up all night and do. When you do this and you do it with your clients, for me, if you guys are listening that are life or health and wellness coaches, here's a quick example. A bear needs to work out in the morning and not at 2 in the afternoon when they want to take a nap. And the way that their cycle is. So that is the book I use. Changed my client base, changed my relationships. I had my whole family take it. And I make them do love languages. So I'm sure you didn't want to hear that. So anyways.
No, love languages is good too. The 5 love languages. It's brilliant.
But I spin it back on yourself. So instead of just totally talking about how to love somebody else, I spin it back here. So if it's words of affirmation or gifts or whatever, how could you love with your own language back to you instead of holding everybody else responsible for doing that? So if your words of affirmation, why be upset with me because you want me to tell you how amazing and how awesome and whatever you are? We need to build you some responsibility to telling yourself how amazing you are.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm a night owl. See, you're a wolf.
Yeah. No, it's funny when you mentioned that. I have to go back and somebody gave me a different book, but it talked about, I was biohacking sleep for a long time. I learned about polyphasic sleep and all these different sleep patterns because I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I get more time in my day? Because people would sit there and say, I don't have enough time in my day. I need my 8. I'm like, yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't. So I love that that's your book recommendation. Definitely.
Well, and the cool thing, I'll just say one more thing. It literally talks about every single thing: exercise, nutrition, when you should take your medications, when you should eat certain foods, carbs, whatever. And I can tell you 100%, it absolutely works. It 100% when you figure out what you are. Why would we not want to do the tough things at our best time of day? Why would we not want to do that?
I wholeheartedly agree. Actually, it's so funny because this is a question for you. I am a night owl and I'm trying hard to turn into a morning bird. I can relate to this in a different way. What are your thoughts on that?
Good luck trying to change that. Not probably going to happen. No, but with a night owl, Darlene, does she work outside of the home? Does she have to go to corporate? Let me know, Darlene. That would be helpful.
Yeah, for me, it's funny because when I was in corporate, in order to get everything done, I started having to stack things on the front end. So I didn't have any more time on the back end, literally, because I was going to sleep 11 to 12 o'clock at night. So I was like, okay, I just started getting up earlier and earlier and earlier. And so what's funny is I've been out of corporate now for well over a year, and I'm still like, oh, I'll go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And my cycle had gotten messed up to where I was tired. But I'm like, man, and I was thinking back, because we always got to go back to when we were most successful, when we were in the flow, Success leaves clues. And I'm like, when did I used to really because I used to write like crazy. I used to write all the time. And I'm like, when did I used to write? Oh, fucking 11 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning. And so it dawned on me, I'm like, okay, I don't have to wake up early anymore. So now I've been shifting my schedule back, and it's been amazing to being after everybody's going to sleep. The wife's downstairs watching.
You're a wolf. You're a wolf.
And I'm like, yep. Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Play a little music on. And I'm just in the zone for a couple hours, and it's good.
You and Darlene are probably a wolf. And that being said, that you have to honor that. Go to bed 12:30, 1 o'clock, sleep in a little bit. And, caffeine is not going to make a difference to you till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No matter how much you drink it is not going to matter. So start drinking it then.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. You know what I wanted to share? Because I want to see what you're having an experience going on. So I was telling you a little bit earlier that I'm noticing some stuff bubbling up with my male clients.
Oh, yeah,
and
yes.
I want to share that because I think it's really of value, and I'm actually going to share it on a bigger platform. So I have 2 18-year-olds, a 19-year-old, and a 23-year-old right now. So I love that. It's really, I love all age groups, but right now that age group, They're struggling, guys. So if you think it is tough for a guy anyway, try it in that age group where one of them couldn't get his license. He delayed his license, but he's 18 and he's on a waiting list because of COVID. One couldn't graduate from college because it was COVID. They can't date, hang out in a gym, hit high five with their buddies. That testosterone, I'm just going to say it like it is. Obviously, males have more testosterone. Metabolic system, duh. But men need to get out and burn that off and do something. And the depression, dealing with the emotional side of the wheel. And it's like me, seriously, it's like me talking to them and like, oh my God, I can't believe you understand this. And this is just like, it's because they're not going to get on FaceTime and go, hi, my name is Charlie and I'm really struggling. Could we get to know each other? It'd be like you being 18 and it's tough, man. And so I just wanted to say, if anybody is exposed, I know girls, like I've been telling them, Christopher, women are used to giving their girlfriends a buzz and just bullshitting with them and getting that out. Guys don't typically do that. And when they're stuck in the house and they can't go have a beer and they can't go punch a bag at the gym, and I just wanted to say they're struggling. That sounds like major suckage. It is kind of suckage.
But it's real life. I mean, and I thank you for bringing that up, because there are so many people struggling out there, and just to hear that word of advice or that word of encouragement, I mean, the sooner we heal, the sooner we accept responsibility for the fact of the situation that we're in, the sooner we ask for outside assistance. It's not a sign of weakness. If anything else, obviously anybody who's gone through it, it's a sign of strength to be able to say, listen, I'm at my weakest, most vulnerable moment right now. And I need somebody to pour into me. And I've heard that on Clubhouse. It's been absolutely, one lady says, before I came on Clubhouse yesterday, I was going to give up on my business. And she goes, and I've been in these rooms and listened to these people and they're just dropping all that stuff. So don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever have those type of situations. And we're going to get through this. And I believe, Peggy, out of the situation that 40, 50 years down the road in the history books, that they're going to look back on 2020 and 2021 and how many years it takes us to get the shit straight. And they're going to look back and say, man, those guys went through hell to make the world a better place for the rest of us. And that's my whole entire goal. I know that's your whole entire goal with what you do and what you bring. We've been going for 57 minutes. I want to respect your time because I know you're on the East Coast, but I want to openly invite you back to the Raw Unscripted show, because I literally could talk to you for 10 hours and I'm sure people are going to be loving this and appreciating this. Did you go on mute again or something?
No, I'm right here. I'm just in awe of your you're speaking your existence. One thing that I would say too, just one more thing about other people out there. It is so amazing that one of these parents reached out, and I think about you with your son. One of these parents reached out, and if a parent has a child that you do not think it is of value to get them a coach, you are so wrong. Because as a coach, to be able to help these children find a wife that's going to treat them well and to treat their children well, and me not to have to peel back the onion for 30 years to go, why the hell are you eating Twinkies in the corner? And be able to just create. If you guys have kids out there, the best investment you could ever do is to find a good coach. And I don't care if you have to go through 30 of them to get it. That's the best investment you could put in your kids.
Mm-hmm. Amen. So where can people get a hold of you? I know that we've got PeggyWiLms.com, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can find me there, find me on Facebook, wherever.
You're prolific. I mean, you just got to go Coach Peggy Willms and
TikTok.
Yeah, you'll see old college videos of you raising hell.
I don't have a record that I know of.
You don't know where to search where I search.
I did ask Alexa how tall I was, and she did say the correct height. And she's probably going to say it right now because I asked her how tall Peggy Willms was, and she said 5'7". Don't ask me. She did according to my records.
Hey, Echo, how tall is Christopher Rausch? Echo, how tall is Christopher Rausch? Fuck off. I don't listen. I swear to God, I could be right here from her and won't hear me. I could come up the stairs and say it to the one in my bedroom, and this fucker hears it.
Okay, listen to mine because this bitch has this under control. Alexa, how tall is Peggy WiIlms?
Peggy Lipton's height is 5 feet and 8
Peggy
inches.
is not Peggy. Fuck off. Alexa, how tall is Peggy WiIlms?
Peggy Lipton's height is
Okay,
5
apparently
feet and
Peggy
8
Lipton is now living
173
here.
Centimeters.
Oh my God. Yes, yes, and yes. This has been great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we know where to get a hold of you, my dear. So here's what I'm going to do. So you got the open invitation. We're going to have you back on here. Maybe we'll just have you back on here as like a featured guest every once in a while. We'll just come here and we'll just pick something that's going on and just riff on it and have a good time. But thank you for spending your time with us. I know it's late over there. I'm going to stick you backstage for a second. Don't go anywhere. You know the drill.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So yeah, connect with her. And I'm going to close out the show and say something brilliant, I hope. All right, there you go. 1 hour and 25 seconds. I always want to honor your guys' time. I could sit here and talk to Peggy for easily another couple of hours, but I know you guys got things to do. And once again, I can't thank you all each very much for being here. Angel, Darlene, Robert. As you know, I'm going to go back and look through these comments. So thank you again for spending your time with us. And please connect with Coach Peggy. Obviously, she's a dynamo. She's a real, authentic person who has a heart of gold that wants to see you happy and successful and balanced and living a life that you want to live. You know, that's the funny thing is people sit there and look at, you know, sometimes in the coaching space or whatever space, they sit there and say, wow, you would have another coach on and promote that other coach. Why wouldn't you promote you? Because this is the thing. And like she said, if you have to go through 30 coaches to get to somebody, keep going. Keep going. I mean, you think about the exponential growth that you would get if you got a fitness trainer, right? Oh, I know I need to do this, but I just don't want to spend $200 a month, you know, to have a fitness trainer. Well, keep doing what you're doing for another fucking 14 years and wind up diabetic and pissed off when your feet are getting amputated. Oh, I got to go spend that money for a fucking boot right now. Oh, I got to spend that money now for a handicap placard, but I wouldn't spend that money to go get myself in shape back when I could have really enjoyed life. Come on, guys, don't be stupid. So many people are stupid right now. And I'm just being honest with you guys. I get so many people coming to me like, oh, Chris, you know, I've been doing this and 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 da, 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 and it's just not working. I'm like, well, so what are you going to do tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I'm like, how about do something different? Anything different, anything, right? If you're not seeing the results that you want to achieve, then change the actions that you're taking. And for Darlene, I will say this. Sometimes there is situations where you have to become a morning person. And for me, as challenging as it was, I just made it a game. I just made it a game because of what I do and who I am. That today, if I still had to do it, I would set the example for my son. Like, this is what we do, son. You know, things aren't always going to be in perfect situations. So now daddy gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, drives for an hour, goes to the gym, takes a shower and starts his day because he's very committed to making sure his health is more important than everything else. Because if you don't do it in the beginning of the day, chances are you're not going to do it at the end of the day. I know I'm like that. You know, so sometimes we have to make adjustments and it's all about our perspective and our why and what we want to do it. Obviously, you know that Peggy and I are very passionate. We know our why. We know what's going on. We know that when our time is up, that literally we're going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm still doing it. Good. You know, we're going to go out helping somebody. I could see myself with a hospice nurse and she'd be like, okay, Chris, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm like, yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. Okay. Make sure you're hydrating and make sure you get enough sleep. All right. Are you drinking orange juice you know, we're going to be pouring into other people. And that's the way to go. That's the way to live. That's not the way to exist. So many people are existing and they're playing the someday game. Someday when this happens, someday, and we all do it. But the point is you have to call yourself on it because guess what's going to happen? Time is going to fly by. And you're going to go, oh shit. And you're going to talk about these things that I talk about all the time, regrets. So that's what I do every single week here on the Raw and Unscripted show and the Unfiltered Experience, which is coming up Friday, by the way. If you're still watching this, please make sure you watch the Unfiltered Experience this Friday at 5 p.m. It's a special 2-hour show with myself and Scott Goyette. We have Jimmy Dennis that is going to be coming on the show. In a nutshell, Jimmy spent over 25 years on death row. He was released. He was wrongly accused, wrongly convicted, and he's going to come on the show and share what that experience was like and what he learned from it. So it's going to be super impactful. But again, when you know your why, you figure out what your how is. You know, you figure out what you need to eliminate from your life that's not working for you. You need to eliminate the things that you think you're supposed to do that you don't have to do. And here till the end. I just gave this exercise to one of my coaching clients, 2 of my coaching clients. You know, take a piece of paper out and just write down everything you're tolerating, right? And think about it. Think about what you tolerate from yourself, what you tolerate from others, and what you tolerate maybe from your business. And just think about that and write it out. And when you think you're done, give it a couple of days and go back and think about it some more, because my coach did that for me a couple of years ago. And the magic in realizing, writing down, like we think, oh, I tolerate that and I put up with that and da, da, da. But when you put it down on paper, you immediately look at yourself and you hopefully say, fuck, I'm stupid. What am I tolerating all that shit for? Why? Validation, approval, acceptance, money, blah, blah, blah. What if you eliminate 1/3 of those tolerations? What happens? Your stress goes down. Your confidence goes up. Your belief about what's possible goes up. It all changes. The trajectory of your life changes when you stop tolerating shit that's not working for you. People sit there and say, I'm so busy and I don't have any time, blah, blah. It takes me less than 5 minutes of talking to them about their schedule and what they're doing to realize it's not that they don't have time. It's that they don't believe in themselves, that they don't actually really want to follow through on their plan, because if they quote unquote fail, then they're going to be embarrassed. But ladies and gentlemen, if you fall down 27 times, you get up 28. That's what being unstoppable is. So as always, I love you guys. Make sure you're here every Tuesday checking us out. And one last little plug. I'm now on the board of helphealhumanity.org. So please go to helphealhumanity.org. We're asking for sponsorships for our kids. They're desperately in need right now. So you can actually make a difference right here and right now. You can go to that. I think I have the website just in case you need to see it. Helphealhumanity.org. You're going to be hearing more from me on that. I'm on the board of directors now, and we're very passionate about healing humanity here in the United States, as well as in Cambodia, in Haiti, all around the world. So we're all committed to that, and we can all be a part of that solution. So I love you guys. And thanks again to Coach Peggy, who's going to be back on here again. You guys stay kick-ass. You guys stay classy. And I love you.